Detroit is the largest city in the state of Michigan, and unfortunately, it's developed a pretty lousy reputation in the last few decades. Fortunately, massive revitalization efforts have succeeded in breathing some fresh, new life into the city, and today we're pleased to say Detroit is once again worth visiting. Granted, you should still be cautious when exploring the city. There are certain neighborhoods with high crime rates that you'd be wise to avoid, but that describes practically every large city in the world. For visitors, there's a ton you can expect to discover in Detroit. Join Viewcation as we give you a rundown of the best things to do in Detroit, Michigan. Campus Martius Park. This urban park can be found right in the heart of the city. It's a fantastic place to have a little fun, especially if you're a fan of spending time in nature. The park has it all and is considered to be a major Detroit landmark. USA Today deemed it the top public square in America in 2021. While Detroit is a fair distance from the ocean, a large part of Campus Martius Park has been converted into a sizable urban sandy beach area where locals and tourists alike enjoy sunbathing in the summer months. There's also a fairly large lawn area where you'll find people engaging in fitness classes, yoga, and other outdoor activities. The park also plays host to several food and wine festivals, movie nights, and live music performances throughout the calendar year. Be sure to take some time to enjoy the park's gorgeous gardens, bubbling water features, and top-notch food trucks. All of this and more can be discovered here with the epic skyline of the city serving as the park's backdrop. If you're visiting during the holidays, you'll be treated to a festive array of Christmas lights, a giant tree, and an ice skating rink. Motown Museum. Take a little trip back in time to the 1960s when Motown was just getting its start. The history on display at this museum is phenomenal. Come see the vision of Berry Gordy and the history of hugely influential musical acts like The Supreme, The Four Tops, The Temptations, and many more. Your tour of the Motown Museum ends in the recording studio. It was here that some of the most famous Motown hits were recorded. Songs like Reach Out, I'll Be There, My Girl, and Ain't No Mountain High Enough were recorded in this very room. Even Michael Jackson got his start here. The sheer amount of musical history within the walls of this relatively small museum is mind-boggling. The Motown Museum can only be visited on a tour. Each tour begins with a 20-minute video and lasts about an hour. Photography is prohibited, but entrance fees are quite affordable. Adult tickets are $15, while children 5 to 17 and seniors can get in for $10. Before we tell you more about the best things to do in Detroit, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Detroit Institute of Arts. Known to locals as the DIA, this museum is by far one of the best of its kind in America. Highlights include the ancient art collections from Europe, Asia, Egypt, and the Middle East, the modern art exhibit, and the murals of Diego Rivera. Another highlight is the 16th century chapel that was moved to the DIA from the Château de Lannoy in France. Following the Second World War, art collectors from around the globe bought the remains of damaged buildings around Europe. In 1923, this historic chapel was deconstructed, stone by stone, and hauled off to the DIA, where it was meticulously pieced back together. The chapel's stained glass windows were even painstakingly preserved in all their glory. Stepping into this chapel feels a lot like getting transported to Europe. Where else in Michigan can you experience that? Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. If you're interested in learning about African American history and the community's many contributions to the culture and history of the U.S., then a visit to this museum should be added to your itinerary. The museum was founded in 1966 and features numerous exhibits that reflect how the African American people have been the cornerstone of the city's community. We especially recommend checking out the fabulous Detroit Performs and the And Still We Rise exhibits. Dequindre Cut. This paved path was built on the former Grand Trunk Western Railroad line and can be found in eastern Detroit. The majority of the cut has been converted into a large green space, but the colorful and aesthetically pleasing graffiti is still in place. The greenway featured a paved trail with 2 lanes perfect for cyclists and pedestrians on foot to traverse. If you're feeling up to it, you can either walk along the path or rent a bike to ride along it. Along the route, be sure to take a moment to soak in all the sights. Detroit International Riverwalk. This 3-mile strip runs along the Detroit riverfront, beginning on Rosa Parks Boulevard and stretching to the Belle Isle Bridge. Along the walk, you can enjoy beautiful landscapes of the city while appreciating the calming waterfront. For the little ones, there's a pretty decent splash pad for them to unload some energy. Be sure to take a spin on the historic carousel and enjoy a bite to eat at the Riverwalk Cafe. Detroit Historical Museum. Right across the street from the DIA is the equally impressive Detroit Historical Museum. This museum covers the entirety of Detroit's history, from the first settlers that set up shop centuries ago to the modern day. This is one of the best places to learn about the fascinating origins of the city, its pivotal role in the Underground Railroad, and the momentous events that helped shape the city's history in the 20th century. The Henry Ford Experience. It'll take you all day to take in everything on offer with this historic experience, so plan accordingly. The all-day event is split into 3 parts. You'll learn about the history of Henry Ford's American dream before touring an operational Ford factory. You can also take a little trip back in time by exploring a historic village. The Henry Ford Experience isn't cheap. Tickets range from $50 to $75 depending on how much you choose to participate in. But even at this price, we strongly believe it's worth it. Just be sure to devote at least a full day to enjoy all the exhibits and attractions. The Ford Rouge Factory Tour. Throughout this tour, you'll get to see a working assembly line producing modern-day vehicles. You can watch workers from high atop the catwalks while getting a sense of what it's like to have their jobs. It's an impressive experience that shows you just how technologically advanced Ford's assembly line really is. Cars not only have to be designed with all the latest tech, but the assembly lines also have to be incorporated into their designs. Trust us, after taking this tour, you'll have a newfound appreciation for all the hard work and ingenuity that goes into producing the vehicles we typically take for granted. Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. This factory and museum will blow you away. You can sit on the actual bus that Rosa Parks famously refused to give her seat up on. You can sit on the actual bus that Rosa Parks famously refused to give up her seat on. You can also see things like the Abraham Lincoln chair and the Kennedy presidential limo in which he was assassinated. The museum has numerous exhibits that contain some of the first cars produced in America. You can then walk through history as you see the countless innovations that have brought the automobile industry into the present. The museum features one of the most impressive collections of American artifacts on display anywhere in the nation. Now it's time to hear from you. Did we miss any of your favorites in Detroit? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.